emerged victorious from the First World War, and at what cost? As we delve into the turbulent history of the early 20th century, we are met with a cataclysmic event, the World War I. A global conflict that saw the world's great powers divided into two opposing alliances: the Allies, including the United Kingdom, France, and Russia, and the Central Powers, primarily Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. The war was a series of relentless battles, each one a turning point with its own tale of triumph and tragedy. The tide of the war dramatically shifted, with the entry of the United States on the side of the Allies, adding a fresh surge of manpower and resources. The war concluded with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, declaring the victory of the Allied powers. The Allied powers stood victorious, but not without significant losses, with casualties estimated to be over 16 million. Moving forward a few decades, World War II erupted, but who triumphed this time and what was the human cost? The seeds of World War II were sown in the aftermath of World War I, with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty's punitive terms ignited resentment in Germany, setting the stage for a second global conflict. This war was not confined to the trenches of Europe but spread across Asia, Africa, and the Pacific, involving over 30 countries. The major powers of World War II were divided into two opposing military alliances: the Allies, including the United States, Soviet Union, United Kingdom, and China, and the Axis, primarily Germany, Italy, and Japan. The war was marked by a series of significant battles and turning points. The Battle of Stalingrad, for instance, where the Soviet Union repelled the German invasion, marked a pivotal shift in the war's momentum. Similarly, the Normandy invasion, often referred to as D-Day, marked a decisive victory for the Allies in Western Europe. The United States and the Soviet Union played crucial roles in the ultimate victory over the Axis powers. The United States, initially maintaining neutrality, entered the war after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Their industrial strength and scientific advancements, most notably the development of the atomic bomb, were pivotal. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union, bearing the brunt of the German onslaught on the Eastern Front, was instrumental in turning the tide against the Axis. The war concluded with the signing of the Potsdam Declaration, an ultimatum demanding Japan's unconditional surrender. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki precipitated this surrender, marking the end of World War II and the victory of the Allied powers. Once again, the Allied powers claimed victory, but the cost was far greater, with an estimated 70 to 85 million casualties, making it the deadliest conflict in human history. So, what can we take away from the outcomes of these two global conflicts? Let's distill it down. In both World War I and II, the victories were claimed by the Allied powers. These triumphs, however, came at an unimaginable human cost. In World War I, millions of lives were lost, and a generation was virtually wiped out. The devastation was so profound that it led to a second war merely 2 decades later. World War II further amplified the human cost, with even more lives lost, cities reduced to rubble, and entire communities displaced. These wars didn't just end with treaties and victory parades. They birthed the Cold War, a tense and dangerous period of political and military standoff between the Western Bloc and the Eastern Bloc. On a more positive note, they also led to the establishment of the United Nations, a global organization aimed at preventing such mass conflicts in the future. In the end, while the Allied powers may have won both world wars, the cost in human lives was unimaginable, forever shaping the course of history.